When the market goes up, you go up. When the market goes down, you don't go down. Safe Money Radio, your money safe and sound.
Welcome to Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistole. Brad is a retirement and income specialist, primarily serving Springfield, but he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their retirements. Mr. Pistole is a licensed life insurance professional in the states of Missouri, Arkansas, and Kansas, and he specializes in working with people who are near retirement and those who have already retired with wealth management, income planning, and asset protection strategies.
Safe Money Radio, your money safe and sound.
And now, here to talk with you about securing your retirement, your host, Brad Pistole.
Hello, this is Brad Pistole, your host, welcoming you to Safe Money Radio. I am an asset and retirement protection specialist and your one-stop source for capital preservation and strategic income planning. You know, we're living in times that are unlike any other time we've ever experienced. Inflation is through the roof, and we've watched things like the price of gasoline and groceries and utilities just go through the roof. It has completely changed family and individual budgets in the blink of an eye. What used to cost $2 now costs $4. What used to cost $10 now costs $20. Have you been out to eat lately? You know what's taking place. It's a really difficult thing to plan for a budget in today's world. This will greatly impact your retirement planning future, and here's why. Because your dollar is not going to purchase what it used to purchase. So if your plans have not changed recently to deal with inflation and the taxes that are definitely going to go up in the future because we are $31 trillion in debt, then you're going to find yourself in a very uncomfortable position when you reach retirement. This is why it's critically important to work with a qualified financial professional, someone who is a retirement income certified professional. Both my son Hunter and I are retirement income certified professionals through the American College of Financial Services. Now, this isn't just some fancy phrase or something that you can pay a fee for to stick some fancy letters behind your name. This is a 9 college credit hour financial planning course through the American College that gives you 15 months to complete. There are 32 different key retirement planning topics covered in the RICP course, and you have to pass 3 major exams and do ongoing financial education every single year to maintain your RICP designation. That's why this is one of the most sought-after designations that exist for a financial professional. All of this brings us to a very important question today for all of you who are listening. Who are you working with to come up with the best retirement income plan for you and your family? Does this individual have any financial designations? Or did they just pass some exam maybe a decade or 2, maybe 3 decades ago? What type of ongoing financial education are they committed to that ensures that they are keeping up with the changing times and the changing economic conditions that we're facing right now? Are you taking your financial advice from someone just because they bought you a $10 dinner? You need to think about this. Your financial future depends on it. Let me give you a good example. If your current financial planner passed an exam to sell stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, or maybe life insurance back in the 90s or the early 2000s, there's about a 95% chance that they weren't taught anything about using annuities or guaranteed products in a retirement income plan. As a matter of fact, annuities used to be a 4-letter word, but in today's world, in the world of 2022 and beyond, whether or not financial professionals should use annuities in a retirement income plan is no longer debated amongst economic professionals. The question is how many annuities should their client own and what percentage of their client's portfolio should be placed into guaranteed lifetime income using annuities. You see, there's only 3 different types of guaranteed lifetime income. There's Social Security, pensions, and annuities. And guess what? All 3 are forms of annuities. Social Security is an annuity, a pension is an annuity, and an annuity offered through an insurance company is obviously an annuity. So don't be fooled by someone who has a motive and an agenda to tell you that annuities are terrible and you should never own one. That's because they want to sell you something else. It might be silver or gold or real estate, but most of the time it's going to be stocks, bonds, and mutual funds held in a brokerage account that pays that advisor an ongoing lifetime fee. So guess what? Whether you realize it or not, that advisor who tells you to never own an annuity actually loves annuities, and you are their annuity. Every single client of theirs is an annuity to them. You see, an annuity is something that pays guaranteed lifetime income. And when you have a fee-based relationship with your broker, you are guaranteed to pay them for the rest of your life. You are their annuity payment. In a world in which the markets are up and down, especially in 2022, when the markets were down about 25%, you definitely need to make sure a portion of your retirement income plan involves things like annuities with guaranteed lifetime income riders that will contractually pay you for the rest of your life, no matter how long you live. Now, for some people, they may need to put 50 to 60% into a vehicle like that. But if you're someone who already has a pension and a really good Social Security payment, you might only need 25 to 30% in an annuity. That's why you need to work with a qualified financial professional, someone like a retirement income certified professional who knows exactly how to determine how much of your portfolio needs to be placed into contractual guaranteed lifetime income payments. If you'd like to learn more about how this works and if you'd like to work with a retirement income certified professional, just give our team a call anytime at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. When you call, we'll give you a copy of our free information that has changed the lives of thousands of retirees all across the country. Our number again is 866-780-7233. I'll give you a copy of my best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan, with the foreword written by America's IRA expert, Ed Slott. Ed Slott's one of the most respected financial professionals in the world. He's a CPA, the author of several best-selling books, and his shows on PBS have been shown in the homes of millions and millions of viewers for more than 15 years. Just call us anytime at 866-780-SAFE and ask for our free information that will show you how you can say goodbye to risk and fees and say hello to guaranteed lifetime income. You can also tune into our podcast that can be found on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcast at any time. It's Safe Money Radio with Brad Pistole. Our number again is 866-780-7233, and there's someone standing by right now to take your call. Since I have to take a break, now would be a great time to call me for a complimentary copy of my best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan. And I'll also give you a copy of my Safe Money Kit. My number is 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. Isn't it time to stop exposing your retirement to market risk? You're listening to Safe Money Radio with Brad Pistole.
Are you concerned about long-term care? You're also probably concerned about paying the high cost of long-term care coverage and increasing rates. Some long-term care rates have increased by as much as 40%. Thanks to recent changes made by Congress, you may be able to use non-qualified tax-deferred retirement money to pay for your long-term care tax-free. Some hybrid long-term care annuities or life insurance solutions can even double or triple your funds available for care. If you have non-critical health issues, you should still call us. Some insurance products have simplified underwriting, and a simple telephone interview will determine your qualification. Call us now if you want information on this opportunity to use tax-free money to pay for your long-term care. Our phone number is 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233.
Treat every day like Christmas.
Number 2.
There's room for everyone on the nice list.
Number 3.
The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and your family from all of us here at Safe Money Radio.
I'm singing. I'm in a store and I'm singing. I'm in a store and I'm singing.
Hey! There's no singing in the North Pole.
Yes, there is. See?
You're listening to Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistole.
Welcome back to Safe Money Radio. I'm Brad Pistole, a certified financial fiduciary and a safe money retirement specialist. Friends, in today's financial world, there's a term that's way overused, and a lot of the time it gets used to benefit the financial professional who wants to seem legit. That term is fiduciary. Almost everyone who calls into my office wants to work with someone who is a fiduciary. And guess what? Almost every single financial professional calls themselves a fiduciary. But guess what? Not everyone is, and not all fiduciaries are created equally. You see, I'm a certified financial fiduciary. This financial designation was given to me by the National Association of Financial Fiduciaries. It's not a term I made up or something I just decided to call myself. It was earned. It requires a special level of education, taking specific financial planning courses, passing an exam, going through annual background checks, and fulfilling annually required ongoing education to remain a certified financial fiduciary. Now, many of you know who Tom Hegna is. Tom has been a guest on our show many times over the years. Tom is a world-renowned economist. His shows on PBS have aired in more than 80 million homes in the United States and Canada. His newest book, Don't Worry, Retire Happy, 7 Steps to Retirement Security, is a national bestseller. Now, Tom was recently talking about what it means to be a real fiduciary on a national public platform. Just listen to what Tom recently said regarding fiduciaries and the fiduciary standard. Tom said, and I quote, "Unfortunately, many fiduciaries are not acting in the best interest of their clients. They never recommend annuities, life insurance, or long-term care insurance. They have conflicts of interest with their compensation. If they use those products, they think their assets under management will decrease. I call these fiduciaries fake fiduciaries. So you should not assume that just because someone tells you they are a fiduciary, that they will act in your best interest. Many of them do not." End quote. Again, friends, that's from Tom Hegna, one of the leading economists in the world. If you don't know who Tom Hegna is, just look him up and watch his videos on YouTube. If you want to make sure that you're working with someone who is truly legally bound to do what is in your best interest at all times, make sure you're working with a certified financial fiduciary. Look for the official designation that is awarded to a financial professional by the National Association of Financial Fiduciaries. I am a certified financial fiduciary. I'm also a certified annuity specialist through the Institute of Business and Finance, and I am a retirement income certified professional through the American College of Financial Services. I've also worked alongside America's IRA expert and CPA, Ed Slott, since 2010. I am an Ed Slott Master Elite IRA Advisor Group member. There are about 450 of us all across the United States, and we are the most highly trained IRA group in the world. So with that in mind, let me ask you something. Who do you take your financial planning advice from? Do they have any legitimate financial designations that require constant, ongoing financial education? Or did they just pass some exam 10 to 20 years ago that allows them to sell you something like stocks, bonds, or annuities? Now, trust me, there's a big difference in these two types of financial professionals. There's an old saying, you get what you pay for. Well, guess what? That's not always true. I know people who pay their advisors 2 to 3% in annual fees, and most of the time, that advisor doesn't even talk to them throughout the year. They don't hear from their advisor unless they contact them. And the majority of the time, that advisor doesn't have any financial designations or education beyond what was required for them to open up their business 20 or 30 years ago. And if you're getting your financial advice from someone just because they paid for a $10 meal at some seminar, then I have another question for you. Just how much did that free meal cost you? Have you lost any of your retirement account money in this past year? Did you pay a 1 to 2% advisor fee? even though they lost your money? What creative financial planning ideas has your financial professional shared with you that will help rescue you from the taxes that are infested inside your tax-deferred accounts? If you don't like the answers to those questions, then you need to realize just how much this so-called free advice is costing you. In a world in which markets are constantly going up and down, and especially in 2022 when the markets were down about 25%, you definitely need to make sure a portion of your retirement income plan involves products like annuities that can protect 100% of your principal and that will contractually guarantee that you and your spouse will have an income stream that you can never outlive. That's why you need to work with a qualified financial professional, someone who is a retirement income certified professional, because they will know how to help you determine how much of your portfolio needs to be placed into guaranteed contractual lifetime income accounts. If you'd like to learn more about how this works, and if you'd like to work with a retirement income certified professional, just call us anytime at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. When you call, I'll give you a copy of our free information that has changed the lives of thousands of retirees all across the country. I'll also give you a copy of my best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan, with the foreword written by America's IRA expert, Ed Slott. Ed Slott is one of the most respected financial professionals in the world. Now, he's a CPA, the author of several best-selling books, and his shows on PBS have been shown in the homes of millions of viewers for more than 15 years. So just listen to what Ed said about my book, Bulletproof. Ed said, quote, "Like the doctor, Brad Pistole gives it to you straight. You have a tax tumor in your retirement account that needs to be removed stat. Lucky for you, Brad is a specialist, and he shows you exactly how to do that. Thanks, Dr. Brad," end quote. Friends, if you want expert advice, then you need to work with someone who has very specialized training regarding tax-deferred retirement plans. I'm a retirement income certified professional. Call us anytime at 866-780-7233 and ask for our free information. When you call, I'll even show you how you can get up to a 30% bonus in your guaranteed protected income account on the first day that you move from risk to safety. Our number again is 866-780-7233, and there's someone standing by right now to take your call. Since I have to take a break, now would be a great time to call me for a complimentary copy of my best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan. And I'll also give you a copy of my Safe Money Kit. My number is 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. Isn't it time to stop exposing your retirement to market risk? You're listening to Safe Money Radio with Brad Pistole.
Do you think the market is going up or going down? Or is that even the right question to be asking? Here's a better question. When the market goes up, do you get to lock in your gains? What if you never had to worry about the market going up or down? Here's another question. Do you have a plan to never outlive your retirement money? What if the market crashes when you need to start using your money for retirement? Taking withdrawals from your retirement account can have devastating consequences due to sequential rate of return risk. If you don't know what that is, you should call us to find out. Brad's best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan, and his Safe Money Kit can show you how to limit market risk and guarantee a lifetime of income. So pick up the phone and call us now at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233.
Good idea, Ernie. A toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town.
From our Safe Money Radio family to yours, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
You're listening to Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistole.
Welcome back. I'm Brad Pistole, your host of Safe Money Radio. I am a capital preservation and strategic income planning specialist working with clients right here in Springfield and Ozark, Missouri. On today's show, we've been talking about the many different types of financial advice that is passed out all over the place almost every single second of every day. You can find financial advice anywhere in today's world. You can hear it on the radio. You can hear it on the TV. You can hear it on TikTok. And just because you hear something on the radio or TV, it does not mean that it's good advice. Just because you read something in someone's book, it doesn't mean they are a qualified expert who should be listened to. Friends, I've been hosting Safe Money Radio for 14 years now. In fact, my show is by far the longest-running financial planning show in the Ozarks, and it's been the number one financial planning show in the Ozarks for many, many years. Contrary to what you hear other self-proclaimed experts say about their show that's only been on the air for 2 or 3 years. It's made up. Guess where they got the idea to start a retirement planning show on the radio? From listening to me on Safe Money Radio for the past 14 years. I find it flattering. So let me give you some great examples about just how important it is to make sure you're getting sound fiduciary financial planning advice for your family. I was recently out driving on a Saturday morning, and I had the rare opportunity to listen to one of the local financial planning shows that have popped up in our local area in the past couple of years. And this is the advice I heard given by the so-called financial expert to their listening audience, and I quote, "If you are 30 or 40 or even 50 years old, you don't need to pay attention to anything that is going on in the market right now. You need to just keep funding your 401k." End quote. Friends, this so-called expert went on to say that the only thing that matters regarding the value of the market is that it's really high at the time that you choose to retire, which is completely out of your control. As a certified financial fiduciary and a retirement income certified professional, I'll be really honest with you. That is some of the worst advice I have ever heard from someone who calls themselves an expert regarding financial planning. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying this person is a bad person. They may be a great person. But that was absolutely terrible financial advice. According to their advice, you should just keep your financial head buried in the sand during your 30s, 40s, and 50s, ignoring what's going on in the markets. Just keep funding Uncle Sam's joint retirement account. You do realize that, right? Your 401k is a joint account with Uncle Sam. He sets all the rules for this account. He tells you when you can and cannot take distributions from the account without penalties. He tells you exactly how much you're going to pay in taxes every time you take a distribution. And he sets all of the rules for how all of your beneficiaries will be able to access the money. In this account that this so-called expert tells you to just keep funding without paying attention to the markets, there is absolutely no protection from market risk. None. There is absolutely no protection from fees. None. And there is absolutely no guaranteed lifetime income offered by this plan. None. Does that sound like a good plan to you? Now, I could write an entire show about why this advice, which was offered by someone who has absolutely no financial designations, is absolutely terrible advice. But I'll just say this. I wrote about all of this advice in my best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan. You see, in my book, I tell the heartbreaking story of 2 different individuals, one of whom is my own father, who worked in the financial services industry for over 50 years. He was a very distinguished financial advisor. He was a CLU and a CRPC. Now, that's a Chartered Retirement Planning Counselor. And guess what? He followed this terrible advice of ignoring what's going on in the markets in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. And guess what happened to him when he was 57 years old? 2001 happened to him. And guess what happened to his Merrill Lynch 401k, where he worked as a financial advisor and was a vice president? His 401k lost 40% of his value at age 57. And because it did, he held on for dear life, hoping it would come back. And he kept contributing to the 401k, ignoring the markets. And guess what happened just 6 years later when he was 63? The stock market crash of 2008 happened, and he lost almost 50% of his 401k again. Now, friends, this is how you turn a $1 million 401k into a $350,000 401k at the absolute worst possible time in your life. You see, I know firsthand what happens when you just ignore the markets when you're in your 50s. I watched it happen to my own father. It devastated his retirement income plan, and he was a very educated financial advisor. A colleague of mine, Jamie Hopkins, was recently interviewed for an article in Think Advisor in November of 2022. Now, who is Jamie Hopkins? Well, Jamie Hopkins is an attorney, but he's also a certified financial planner, a CFP, a chartered financial consultant, a chartered life underwriter, and a retirement income certified professional. He is the author of the best-selling book, Find Your Freedom: Financial Planning for a Life on Purpose. In the article, Jamie says, quote, "The 5 years right before and right after retirement are when people need to be the most conservative with investing." He says that historical data supports the fact that the worst case scenarios are when you take a lot of risk around the time that you retire and the market pulls back when you have to take a distribution. Jamie also said that he would only hire about 5% of the financial advisors on the market today. Just listen to what he said, and I quote, "I wouldn't hire a surgeon or a lawyer who didn't go to med school or law school, but 90% of the advisors out there didn't have any formal education or training, yet people hired them to invest their money," end quote. In the same article, Jamie also said, there are certain things that market returns can't solve. For instance, no return can provide lifetime income. And later in that same article in Think Advisor, he goes on to say, academic research shows that annuities play a very important role, lifetime income in retirement income plans, but we don't use annuities enough, end quote. When was the last time you took an educated look into who you are getting your retirement planning advice from? Does your financial planner have a degree in the financial field? Do they have any legitimate financial designations? Are they involved in any ongoing financial training programs that keep them up to date with the latest laws and changes that take place regarding 401ks, IRAs, and other tax-deferred retirement plans? Or are you just taking advice from them because you saw them on TV or heard them on the radio, or because they offered you a free meal at a local restaurant? Friends, I'm telling you, in a world in which markets constantly go up and down, just like in 2022 when they were down 25%, you definitely need to make sure that a portion of your retirement income plan involves guarantees that protect 100% of your principal and that will contractually guarantee you and your spouse an income stream that you can never outlive. That's why you need to work with a qualified financial professional, someone who is a retirement income certified professional who knows exactly how to help you determine how much of your retirement portfolio needs to be placed into guaranteed contractual lifetime income accounts. I can show you exactly how to do this. Call us anytime at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. When you call, I'll give you a copy of our free information that has changed the lives of thousands of retirees all across the country. Our number again is 866-780-7233. I'll give you a copy of my best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan, with the foreword written by America's IRA expert, Ed Slott. Now, don't forget, you can always tune into our podcast that can be found on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcast at any time. It's Safe Money Radio with Brad Pistole. Call us anytime at 866-780-7233. There's someone standing by right now to take your call. Since I have to take a break, now would be a great time to call me for a complimentary copy of my best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan. And I'll also give you a copy of my Safe Money Kit. My number is 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. Isn't it time to stop exposing your retirement to market risk? You're listening to Safe Money Radio with Brad Pistole.
Are you age 59 and a half or older and still working? Did you know that you may be able to move some or all of your retirement money to an individual retirement account without any taxes? Why keep your money in your employer's plan with management fees, exposure to significant market risk, and limited options for guaranteed lifetime income that you can't outlive? What will happen to your plan at work if the market crashes? Call Brad Pistole now for retirement planning that will protect what you've worked so hard for and create a retirement that is safe and secure. Call 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. Now back to more Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistole.
Welcome back to Safe Money Radio. I'm Brad Pistole, a certified financial fiduciary and a safe money retirement specialist. Friends, I've been talking about America's IRA expert, Ed Slott, every single week right here on Safe Money Radio since 2010, and there's a reason for this. You see, there's only one person in the entire world that's been called the best source of IRA advice by the Wall Street Journal, and that person is Ed Slott. Now, Ed is a CPA from New York. He doesn't sell anything. He's a tax advisor, and he has spent more than 30 years educating people all over the United States regarding the best ways to keep their money safe and out of the hands of Uncle Sam. Over the past 15 years, Ed has written several best-selling books, and he has hosted 6 different shows on PBS. In 2021, he released his latest book, The New Retirement Savings Time Bomb: How to Take Financial Control, Avoid Unnecessary Taxes, and Combat the Latest Threats to Your Retirement Savings. Now, this book is an absolute necessity if you are planning for retirement, especially if you have money in tax-deferred accounts like 401ks, IRAs, 403bs, TSPs, and 457 plans. I've read this book, and I keep about 50 copies of it at my office to share with my clients. It truly is the Bible for tax planning and retirement planning. Now, if you've listened to the show for any amount of time, you know that Ed and I are great friends. I've been blessed to interview Ed on Safe Money Radio several times over the years. We have spoken at some of the same national conferences, and I've even interviewed him in depth on multiple occasions. You can watch these retirement planning conversations with Ed Slott on my website at guaranteedsafemoney.com. In 2021, I wrote a new financial planning book. The book is called Bulletproof: The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan. I sent a copy of the book before it was published to Ed. He was so excited about the material in my new book that he volunteered to write the foreword for the book. What an honor. So just keep listening, and I will tell you how you can get a free copy of this best-selling book. Now, as you know, our world is going through some pretty crazy times right now. We have witnessed a worldwide pandemic. We watched it disappear virtually overnight. We've seen gas go to over $4 a gallon. We've seen inflation climb to a 40-year high of 7.9%. We've watched our national debt climb to more than $30 trillion. And we have watched countries go to war. All of these things will greatly affect our local, national, and worldwide economies. They are already affecting the stock market and other worldwide markets. And during all of this, Ed Slott, America's IRA expert, was in the studios recording his newest PBS special called Ed Slott's Retirement Freedom. Now, in March of 2022, it started airing all over the country, and it's even aired right here in Springfield, Missouri. If you haven't seen this 2-hour special, you need to search for it on your local TV provider. I've seen it, and I have all the books, manuals, and DVDs from the show, and let me tell you this, it is the most timely retirement and tax planning information I've ever seen. So stay with us today. In our next two segments, I'm going to share Ed Slott's 4 pillars of retirement freedom, and you don't want to miss it. Friends, I can assure you of this. Our focus at Safe Money Radio is teaching people how to keep their money safe, how to provide lifetime income for their family, how to deal with the taxes that are inside their retirement accounts, and how to pass on as much as they can to their heirs. Remember, if you don't have the right plan in place, you will fall victim to Uncle Sam's plan. And do you know what he has planned for you? To give him as much of your hard-earned money as possible. He hopes you don't listen to people like Ed Slott or myself. Because if you don't listen to us, you will make the mistakes that will make Uncle Sam the primary beneficiary of your retirement accounts. And no one wants this. That's exactly why Ed has trained a very special group of CPAs and financial professionals for more than a decade. He teaches us how to help our clients avoid these mistakes. I've been training under Ed for almost 15 years, and he is a close personal friend of mine. So if you would like to read a copy of my new best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan, just give us a call right now at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. I will give you a copy of this best-selling book absolutely free. Remember, America's IRA expert Ed Slott wrote the foreword for this book. And together, we talk about the things that are critically important to the safety and success of your retirement and future income planning. My number again is 866-780-7233. I'll give you a copy of my best-selling book absolutely free, and I'll even give you a free 1-hour financial planning consultation. Just call us at 866-780-7233 and request a free review. There's someone standing by right now to take your call. This is Brad Pistole, your host of Safe Money Radio. I'll be right back after this informative message.
What do you do in the morning? Do you spend the time with your first cup of coffee looking at the newspaper or watching financial news? How would you like to get that part of your life back? Our clients spend more time enjoying their retirement than watching their money. Wouldn't you rather enjoy your mornings instead of filling them with the stress of the markets? Call us now and we can show you how to sleep at night without worrying about market risk and outliving your retirement money. Our phone number is 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. Now back to more Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistole.
Welcome back to Safe Money Radio. I'm Brad Pistole, a certified financial fiduciary and a safe money retirement specialist. In 2022, America's IRA expert Ed Slott released his latest PBS special called Ed Slott's Retirement Freedom. It started airing all over the country in March of 2022, and it's even aired right here in Springfield, Missouri. Now, if you haven't seen this 2-hour special, you need to search for it on your local TV provider. I have seen it, and I have all of the books, manuals, and DVDs from the show. And let me tell you this, it's the most timely retirement and tax planning information I've ever seen. Today, I'm going to share with you some of the key points Ed shares with retirees all across the world. So listen closely. We're going to be talking about Ed's 4 pillars for retirement freedom. These are the things Ed says you absolutely must focus on if you want to experience the retirement of your dreams. Now, here's pillar number 1, freedom from taxes. This shouldn't be a big surprise. Ed is a CPA. He's a nationally recognized tax advisor. He often says the number one thing that will separate you from the retirement of your dreams is taxes. He will also say, don't you know your IRA is an IOU to the IRS? Now just think about that for a minute. Your IRA is an IOU to the IRS. What does this mean? You've probably been advised to put as much money as you can into your 401k or company plan, especially if they're willing to give you a free match. This match might be as high as 3, 4, or even 5%. But don't ever forget, you are putting that money into an account that is in a partnership with Uncle Sam, and he's going to take that free money back away from you. How? In taxes. Remember, you never paid taxes on the money that you put into your 401k or company tax-deferred plan. And when you start taking distributions from those accounts, Uncle Sam will be standing there with the tax bill for those distributions. And what will the tax bill be? Well, that depends on several things. It will depend on your tax filing status, single or married, how much income you have from what Uncle Sam calls other sources. And here's the big one, the current tax brackets at that time. And what will the tax brackets be in the future? No one knows. But we do know this. We are currently $30 trillion in debt, growing by billions every single day. And guess who Uncle Sam expects to pay that bill? You guessed it. All of the taxpayers who got all the freebies from the government during COVID and other national emergencies. Here's a little hint, friends. Taxes won't be going down. They can only go up. Ed Slott says the number one pillar to a successful retirement is making sure you have freedom from these taxes. I will show you how to put your money into a plan that is 100% tax-free. And if you get bonus money with this plan, it will be 100% tax-free. That's real money. You will keep your money safe. You'll provide lifetime income to you and your spouse, and you'll pass on 100% of your earnings to your heirs in the most tax-efficient way possible. Just call us anytime at 866-780-7233, and I'll show you exactly how to do this. Now, the second pillar Ed wants every retiree to focus on is freedom from worry. There are all kinds of things that will create worry in retirement. The main things that create this worry is what world-renowned economist Tom Hegna calls the primary retirement risks. What are these risks? Well, they're things like long-term care planning, health care planning, life insurance planning, and protecting yourself from the volatility of the stock market or any risky investment. You see, if you've taken these completely off the table, then you can have true peace of mind, and you're going to have a very happy retirement. You're going to be able to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, and that's everyone's dream for their retirement. No one wants to wake up and worry about whether or not they'll have enough income at the end of the day or the week or the month. When you've secured your guaranteed lifetime income, you don't have to worry about it because you know what's going to happen. The money is always going to be there. But on the other hand, if your retirement money is in something volatile, like the stock market, you probably remember exactly how you felt in 2001 and in 2008. You also remember how you felt at the beginning of COVID in 2020 when the markets dropped 35% in a matter of weeks. And you remember how it felt in 2022 when the markets went back into correction territory. Friends, this is no way to live in retirement. So keep listening, and we will get to Ed's next two retirement pillars in our next segment that will give you true retirement freedom. This is Brad Pistole, your host of Safe Money Radio. I'll be right back after this informative message.
The market goes up and the market goes down. It always has and it always will. But if you are in or near retirement, do you have the time to wait for the market to go through these cycles? Think about it. Having your money invested in the market is like walking next to the edge of a cliff. What if you lose your step? What if the edge gives way? What if a strong wind blows you over the side? It is good to stay away from the edge of disaster in life, and when it comes to being exposed to financial risk, it is no different. Shouldn't you at least try to protect the money you depend on for your retirement income? Pick up the phone and call us now to receive your complimentary Safe Money Information Kit and a copy of Brad's best-selling book, Bulletproof, the Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan. Our phone number is 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. Now back to more Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistol.
Welcome back. I'm Brad Pistol, your host of Safe Money Radio. I am a capital preservation and strategic income planning specialist working with clients right here in Springfield and Ozark, Missouri. In our previous segments, we've been talking about America's IRA expert Ed Slott and his 2022 show, Ed's Retirement Freedom, that is airing all across the country. He talks to retirees about the 4 pillars that are absolutely necessary if you want to have a safe and worry-free retirement. Now, in our last segment, we talked about pillar number 1 and pillar number 2. They are freedom from taxes and freedom from worry. And now we're going to talk about pillar number 3 and pillar number 4. Pillar number 3 for establishing your retirement freedom is freedom from risk. Now, friends, if you haven't seen Ed's new show on PBS, you need to watch it. Ed doesn't shy away from talking very plainly about the role risk plays in a successful retirement plan. Just listen to what he says about taking risks in retirement. And I quote America's IRA expert. The stock market is becoming a casino. It's gambling. Even the Wall Street Journal has said that. And if there's any one publication that is the most pro-stock market, it's the Wall Street Journal. Ergo the name Wall Street. In fact, here's a quote that was in the Wall Street Journal from back in early 2021. It's just wild speculation, like casino gambling or racetrack betting, end quote. Ed goes on to say, quote, instead of being in the stock market, imagine you're in the casino. You're at the tables and you're winning and winning and winning some more. The chips are stacking up so high they're over your head. You can't even see anymore. They're stacked so high. What would you do? Smart people would take those chips off the table, cash in those winnings, and walk away. That's what you should do. Cash in your winnings. Lock in those gains now before you lose them, and do it at today's low tax rates. And then move those market winnings into guaranteed income vehicles like annuities, at least for your basic living expenses. These cannot be left to chance, end quote. Wow, that's pretty straightforward advice from America's IRA expert, and he said that to retirees all across the country. Remember, Ed doesn't sell anything. He doesn't sell stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, annuities, or life insurance. He's a tax advisor, and he's one of the most respected tax advisors in the entire world. Ed goes into specific detail in his new PBS show about why risk must be avoided in retirement. It simply is a must. Now that we've covered the first 3 pillars of Ed's retirement freedom, freedom from taxes, freedom from worry, and freedom from risk, let's talk briefly about pillar number 4. What is pillar number 4? It's freedom from bad advice. Ed spends a significant amount of time on his new nationwide show teaching retirees how to protect themselves from the bad advice of so-called financial professionals. Now, as you know, you can find a so-called expert on just about every street corner. Everyone seems to be claiming to be a fiduciary or an expert. Ed is very specific on how to find a real expert. He even created a website that lists these financial professionals for you. They are the kind of professionals who have been training under him for years, and these professionals have access to Ed and his team 24/7. Friends, I have spent my entire financial planning career correcting the mistakes of other local financial professionals. Now, listen to me. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying I've seen some absolutely terrible mistakes that have been made. And I've seen some truly terrible advice that has been given to local retirees by the people who called themselves professionals. It's often that this advice is given by people who you see on TV and maybe even listen to on the radio. Ed Slott will very clearly say, the bad thing is, when it comes to someone who doesn't know something, they don't know that they don't know. Just think about that for a minute. A lot of times, financial professionals will give their clients advice and truly think it is the correct advice. They don't know that they don't know the correct information, and that is truly scary when it comes to financial planning and taxes. That's why Ed's fourth pillar to retirement freedom is the freedom from bad advice and bad financial professionals. So to recap, the 4 retirement pillars that America's IRA expert Ed Slott says are absolutely necessary if you want a safe and secure retirement plan in today's world are freedom from taxes, freedom from worry, freedom from risk, and freedom from bad advice. Friends, I am a certified financial fiduciary. I am a certified annuity specialist. And I am an Ed Slott Master Elite IRA Advisor Group member, and I've been training under Ed since 2010. In fact, I'm the only local financial professional who has trained under Ed Slott for more than a decade. There are a lot of reasons why we have so many clients locally, but one of the main reasons is because of my access to Ed Slott and his team of retirement planning experts. Our team consists of CPAs, tax planning advisors, and certified financial planners. Together, our focus is teaching people how to keep their money safe, how to provide lifetime income for their family, how to deal with the taxes that are inside their retirement accounts, and how to pass on as much as they can to their heirs. Remember, if you don't have the right plan in place, you will fall victim to Uncle Sam's plan. And do you know what he has planned for you? To give him as much of your hard-earned money as possible. He hopes you don't listen to people like Ed Slott or me. Because if you don't listen to us, you will make the mistakes that will make Uncle Sam the primary beneficiary of your retirement accounts. That's exactly why Ed has trained a very special group of CPAs and financial professionals for more than a decade. He teaches us how to help our clients avoid these mistakes. I've been training under Ed since 2010, and he's a very close personal friend of mine. If you would like to read a copy of my new best-selling book, Bulletproof, The Safe and Secure Retirement Income Plan, just give us a call at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233. I'll give you a copy absolutely free. Remember, America's IRA expert Ed Slott wrote the foreword for this book, and together we talk about the things that are critically important to the safety and success of your retirement and future income planning. My number again is 866-780-7233. I have access to all of Ed Slott's books, DVDs, and retirement planning materials, and I share them with my clients. If you would like a copy of my best-selling book, or if you would like to read some of Ed's retirement planning material, just call our toll-free number and ask for a free 1-hour financial planning consultation with me. That number again is 866-780-7233, and there's someone standing by right now to take your call. Well, that's about all the time I have for Safe Money Radio this week. But before I go, I want you to know that I sleep at night knowing that my clients have retirement plans that remove the stress of market loss from the money they depend on for retirement. And I want you to sleep well at night too. Until next time and at the same time, I'm Brad Pistole, reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
Safe Money Radio, your money safe and sound.
You've been listening to Safe Money Radio with your host, Brad Pistole. Find out how to contractually guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe while avoiding market loss so you can have the retirement that you deserve. Call Brad Pistole now for your complimentary Safe Money book and Safe Money information kit at 866-780-SAFE. That's 866-780-7233.
Safe Money